we also get the foreshadowing of a big black dog, as Harry is reading a book on death omens, what to do when you know the worst is coming. And so even the manager of the bookstore is like, you don't want to read that, right? But the cover of the book had a big black dog as large as a bear with gleaming eyes, and it looked oddly familiar, which later we learn is this big black dog is called the Grim. Eventually we meet Ron and Harry, and Ron, very important, page 56, everybody. Ron has a brand new wand. He gets his own wand. He has a brand new wand, 14 inches, willow, containing 1 unicorn tail hair. So we have a willow wood, is very flexible. It's those trees that hang over, willow trees. They like the water, willow trees. And he has 1 unicorn hair as the magical core, right? And so what does the unicorn hair represent? What does that symbolize? Because Harry has, yeah, it was a willow tree. Yes, it's ironic, right? A willow tree, right? The Whomping Willow broke his wand, and now his wand has willow in it. Yes, good catch. Yep. What does the unicorn hair represent? Loyalty, right? We know purity, that the unicorn is the purest of all the magical creatures, right? A little bit of overall goodness and some innocence to it, right? So we know that this creature also can give you longevity if you drink its blood, but because it's a hair, and completing the trio of possible substances. Can you explain to the class more of that, Stephanie? Phoenix, right?
First book, Ollivander the Wand Maker said that there's 3 possible ones. It was like dragon string heart, phoenix feather, and unicorn hair. And Harry has the phoenix feather, Hermione has the dragon, and Ron has the unicorn hair.
Yes. So again, great, another great catch, Stephanie. That is wonderful. That trio is important, right? So again, the idea of the 3 possible substances, the three of them as a trinity working to being together, is definitely a connection for them. So that each of their wands has a particular aspect, right? So definitely a great thing to mention. I'm gonna write myself another note here. Okay, so that alludes back to the trio of substances. So they catch up, and of course, the next thing we learn is on, Ron is walking around with Scabbers, and Scabbers is looking pretty sad. But the last thing is on page 60 is that Hermione decides to get a cat. The cat already tried to attack Scabbers in the store, and we get this description of the cat on page 60. The cat's ginger fur was thick and fluffy, but it was definitely a bit bow-legged, and its face looked grumpy and oddly squashed, as though it had run headlong into a brick wall. Now that Scabbers was out of sight, however, the cat was purring contentedly in Hermione's arms. Hermione, that thing nearly scalped me, said Ron. He didn't mean to, did you, Crookshanks, said Hermione. And what about Scabbers, said Ron, pointing to the lump in his chest pocket. He needs rest and relaxation. Now he's going to get in with that thing around. And so Hermione buys Crookshanks. And he's just this old, squished, orange, fluffy. I don't even know what kind of cat he is. But many people, we do learn that Crookshanks also has other abilities, and that he's a very magical cat, and that he's able to communicate with other animals. So, and he's quite smart. All right, so that's chapter 4, really what we need in chapter 4 as well. Let's get to chapter 5, because chapter 5 is called The Dementor. So they get on the train, right? They cross the threshold and get on the train. Harry crosses the threshold when he goes to the Leaky Cauldron, but now they get on the train to stay permanently. Harry's permanently in that world when he goes to the Leaky Cauldron, but they go to platform 9 3/4. Okay, and he goes with the Weasleys. They all go together, and they all get on the train. And even Harry has a conversation with Mr. Weasley, right? He looked more serious than I ever had seen him. Harry, swear to me you won't go looking for Black. Harry stared. What? There was a loud whistle. Guards were walking along the train, slamming all the doors shut. Promise me, Harry, said Mr. Weasley, talking more quickly still, that whatever happens, why would I go looking for someone that I know wants to kill me, said Harry blankly. Swear to me that whatever you might hear. Arthur, quickly, cried Mrs. Weasley. Steam was billowing from the trains that had started to move. Harry ran to the compartment door, and Ron threw it open and stood back to let him on. They leaned out the window and waved at Mr. and Mrs. Weasley until the train turned the corner and blocked them from view. Right? So Harry had overheard the Weasleys bickering about whether to tell him about Black or not. Okay? And he was very concerned about this when they were at Diagon Alley. But at the same time, Mr. Weasley is so concerned that he wants to make sure. Okay? Yes. So this is one of the favorite red herring scenes, right? When the thing that says if someone is untrustworthy goes off in the cart with Lupin, that was such a good right? So Lupin was set up as well too as a red herring. Yes. So this whole idea of setting it up and adding that whole plot about Sirius Black, she does a really nice job of it, right? We know that this is going to be the big antagonist in the book right now, because we don't have a Voldemort in this book. So we have to have something coming after Harry. And it's this idea of this, this dog / this Sirius Black character that keeps showing up, right? But at least, even though the Weasleys argue about it in book 4, they're very sure that Harry needs to understand how dangerous Sirius Black is. Okay, so and of course we get another reference to the moon as well too, and the wolves with Lupin's name. His name is Latin, which means wolf, and Venus, right? Which means change to the wolf, meaning 774. But more than that, it is the Dementor, right? I have that picture on the top right of the Dementor, right? So the Dementors are a direct reference to depression in text. And in fact, you kind of get the idea of depression. If you have true clinical depression, I have one of my kids, my adopted kids, has depression, and it is debilitating. It can be very debilitating to have clinical depression. And she suffers from it, and she has therapy, and she takes anti-anxiety medicines and things for depression, and that's helped her be a successful person. But for a time, especially depression, it tends to trigger young adults during college, right? Because of the stress. There was a time where she did not leave her room in college for 2 weeks. And the same thing happened to my son. We had a bout of depression, and we diagnosed with depression. And he was already taking some medications for anxiety anyway, but they just increased a little bit, tweaked other medications, and he got back on the road again. And he got there. And now it's been like a year or two later, and he's finally like in a place where the meds are exactly where they need to be. There's a constant tweaking so that he can be a successful person. But it's been very, very debilitating, at least for my son while in college. It just really took a next level for him than when he was in high school. So the mentors required that medication. And that's because J.K. Rowling suffers from depression. And she was diagnosed with depression between book 2 and book 3. And she was getting help. And so she kind of like wrote that in Dementors, how they're represented. So let's take a look at that scene in what it felt like, right? So let's turn to before we go into this. Let's describe what the Dementors look like. So the doors split open before Luke can reach it. Standing in the doorway, illuminated by the super flames, Luke was a low figure with that tower to the ceiling. His face was hidden beneath its hood. Harry's eyes darted downward, and when he saw them, he made a contract. There was a hand through the cloak and was glistening, grayish, slimy looking scab, like some dead that had tainted water. And it was visible only for a second, and the creature behind the cloak sensed Harry's gaze, and the hand was suddenly drawn into the folds of the black cloak. And then the thing beneath the hood, whatever it was, drew a long, slow, rattling breath, as though it was trying to something more than air from surroundings. And an intense cold swept over them all. Harry felt his breath catch his chest. The cold went deeper into his skin. It was inside his chest, it was inside his very heart. Harry's eyes were up into his head, and he couldn't see. He was drowning and cold. There was a rushing in his ears as though of water, and he being dragged downward, roaring louder. And then far away, he screamed a terrible bleeding scream. He wanted to hear whoever it was, tried his arms, but couldn't. A thick white fog was swirling around him and inside him. So this is a description of what it felt like to be attacked by the Dementors, right? And so this scene is a little bit different from the movie. In the book, Professor Lupin is right there, trying to stop the situation, right? And then he's the one who he doesn't do Patronus, right? But he does get mentioned out of the room. Okay, so actually he does do the Patronus on page 85. Because Harry passed out. So Professor Lupin had stepped over him before the Dementors pulled his wand, and he got rid of the Dementors. So let's take a look at that scene. I have it here.
So I chocolate.
All right. Let's talk about a couple things. Right. One. The mentor. Right. Look how Neville described it. It was horrible to Neville in a higher voice than usual. Did you feel how cold it got when it came in? I felt weird and Ron shifting his shoulders uncomfortably, like I never cheerful again. Ginny was huddled up in her corner, looking nearly as bad as Harry. Felt gave a small sob, reminding one of her comforting arm around her. But didn't any of you fall off your seats? Said Harry awkwardly, no, Ron, looking at Ginny and Harry. Ginny was shaking like mad, though. He felt weak and shivering, though he was recovering from a bad bout of flu, and he felt the beginnings of shame. Why had he done things like that when no one else had? So this description, many people who have clinical depression will describe it as a fog that comes over them, and it debilitates them, and they don't want to get out of bed, they don't want to get out of bed. Usually, you know it's clinical depression when somebody doesn't get out of bed for about 2 weeks. Usually the 2 week mark is when you should be saying, I think 2 weeks, like, hey, you haven't left the house, you haven't gone to work, you haven't done other things, maybe at the 1 mark, and that's usually, that's how I caught my son's depression, is I knew something was happening at the first week, and I kind of went to him, and he was getting out of bed, he stopped going to classes. At college, and I had to like intervene very quickly and get him into the psychiatrist and tweak his medicine very quickly to get him out of the depression. And that's what it takes. It takes somebody else intervening. And so Lupin intervenes for him and the other kid. He's the one who gets rid of the mentor, and he also provides chocolate, right? So isn't that phenomenal kid thing to do, right? The best thing you can have is chocolate, which I totally agree with. I'm a big chocolate lover. So, yeah, and Francis again. Francis is on top of it. I'm gonna give Francis 10 points today, and I'm gonna give him 10 points after because she's answering questions as well today. I think Valentina is answering your questions, so I'm gonna just give some house points to those 3 houses: Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and Gryffindor. I think Ravenclaw is going to apply, but it is interesting how there are a lot of studies. Yeah, I agree with Francis on chocolate. Can help people to make them happier, right? And maybe you don't like chocolate. I'm a big chocolate person. I only keep I don't eat a lot of sugar, so I keep those Lily's chocolate bars when they go on sale. I'll like buy them. If they go BOGO, which is very rare, or if they go on sale, like a couple dollars so off, I might buy 1 or 2. They're a chocolate bar, and I keep them in the back of my pantry for just like if I want a little piece of chocolate, because they have no sugar in them at all. But yes, the idea of chocolate helping can help, right? So dark chocolate. So looking at that, we also see the beginning of how that had an effect on Harry. Now, did you guys see the scene in Aunt Marge's Big Mistake? It's so terrible. You should watch it. I will show you this one as well too. I have these videos for you.
I need you to do this. What is it? Nothing. Let's go. Lay down. Behave. I want you to shout. You're still here, Yes. Yes. Ungrateful way. Good at my brother. Straight when I was listening to dump on my voice. Okay. Can I take them along? Just a small, excellent nostril. Get a bit more. Usually just a fry on me when you're 12 along. A bit more. That's a boy. Would you try to put a red What are you smirking at? Where did you send them? It's a fine institution for homo. These chains, this boy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I need the loads of times. Excellent. I won't have it's all to do with blood, bad blood, What is it this boy's father did in the children? Nothing. He didn't work. Drunk too, no doubt. That's a lie. What did you say? My dad wasn't a drunk. I think it's time you went to bed. Quiet. You clean it up. Actually, it's nothing to do with the father. It's to do with the mother. You see it all the time with dogs. If there's something wrong with the bitch, then there's something wrong with the... Shut up! Shut up! Let me tell you.
Because we see it juxtaposes like the terrible things that happen in the Muggle world versus the terrible things that can happen in the Wizarding world with the Dementors. So I picked those two scenes just because it shows you different aspects of different worlds that Harry is dealing with, right? So he's got to like manage all of this as a 13-year-old. So this is where we'll end today. It's 12:43. Time to go.